one of the Pope's sons ended up dead, and the man people suspected, his own brother. How does one family take over the entire Vatican? In the late 1400s, a man named Rodrigo Borgia became Pope. Pope Alexander VI, to be exact. Now, you'd think that position is about faith, morality, being a decent human being. Or you just outplay everybody. Rodrigo was heavily accused of using bribery, influence, and backroom deals in order to secure his position. And once he was in, he installed his family into other positions of power. And the Vatican stopped looking like a church and started looking more like a family-ran business. Rodrigo's favorite son, Giovanni, was appointed Duke of Grandia and was supposed to lead politically and militarily. But overnight he disappears, and his body was found days later out of the Tiber River, where he had 9 stab wounds in his throat. He was also found with 30 gold ducats still on his body, so robbery was ruled out as a motive. So that led people to believe that Caesar Borgia ended up his brother. However, after Giovanni's death, Caesar resigns from the church, and he actually takes over militarily. In doing so, he became the first cardinal in recorded history to ever step away from his position at the church. In Italy, Caesar began taking over regions like Romagna. To stabilize Romagna, he appointed a man named Ramiro di Lorca, and Ramiro ruled with extreme force. The people hated Rodrigo. And when Caesar found out about this, in order to get the people back on his side, he ended up having Rodrigo executed. He hung him in the town square, and I believe he was quartered, which means ripping his body apart. And they also put his on a spike in the town square. Then we've also got a sister in the family, Lucrezia Borgia, who was married 3 times, but not for romance. It was all for political gain. Her first marriage was to a man named Giovanni Sforza, but was annulled once the political power wasn't really working out for the Borgias anymore. Her second marriage was to a man named Alfonso of Aragon. Her third marriage to a man named Alfonso d'Este Ferreira actually lasted. But remember, none of these marriages were personal. It was all strategy. People also believe Lucrezia and Caesar were involved in some type of incestual behaviors due to the facts of written accounts of how they behaved around each other and acted in moments of like Caesar's jealousy and things like that. So mind you, back then, this was more of a common thing. But here's where shit gets real weird. A lot of people believe Caesar's image influenced later depictions of Jesus Christ. So they're saying that the picture you see in worship and praise is not Jesus. It's actually a military leader who killed many, many people. Following the death of his father, Pope Alexander VI, Caesar lost his power in Italy and was forced to exile in Spain, where he would serve his brother-in-law, the King of Navarre. In 1507, Caesar was besieging Vienna, where he chased a small party of enemy knights into a ravine during a heavy rainstorm. However, it was an ambush, and Caesar was surrounded and killed. He was stabbed over 25 times and stripped of his armor by enemies who did not recognize him, according to accounts. That was essentially it. The story of Caesar Borgia and how one family ruled the Vatican for just about 50 years. Caesar actually married and only met his wife for a short amount of time before he had a daughter whom he never really met because he had to get back to his wars. And when you see power operating this way back then and still today, it makes you wonder how much has really changed. Not much. The elites remain the elites. Till next time, my friends.